Demon. Demon follows immediately after the Dreamcatcher campaign. You and your companion have married and have mostly retired from a life of adventure. You live in a small cabin in the Sword Coast region, taking care of a new addition to your family. Life seems idyllic, with the burdens of family overshadowing your past deeds. Little do you expect the events that would soon change your lives forever. Hmm. Okay, which one is it? It's only one. And the one... No, it has to be something else. This has the Blade of Elders. Ah, right. Spirit Blade. Home sweet home. With a sigh, you put away the last of the dishes. Little did you realize the challenges of a simple life, balancing your newfound motherhood with the demands of maintaining a household. Some days you would prefer facing a red dragon with a dull blade than the piles of soiled diapers that await. The price of this cottage was well within your reach using the money earned in your last adventure. With your beloved at your side, you have found a quiet happiness here that you never thought possible. Perhaps now, with the day's chores done, you can spend some time with your love before exhaustion overtakes you both. Note, the following choice is important and sets your romance for the rest of the campaign. Uh, Anira or Nubel, because we're female. The priest would be available as a romantic companion for male or female. But since we're traveled with Nubel, I'll pick Nubel. Nubel, get your black heart down here. It's not exactly unreasonable, even though there wasn't an active romance in the previous campaign with us. Uh, we've been together for a long time, so getting pregnant isn't exactly out of the question. You sprint toward the stairs, eager to rid yourself of these meddlesome clothes. The handsomely rakish man you married leaps down the steps two at a time. When he sees you, a knowing smirk pierces your heart and you feel the fire burning within. The name's Talon now, lassie, remember that. He threatens mockingly. It won't do to have the city guards connecting us to the infamous robbery of Baldur's Gate. Ah yes, blood ran freely that day. Besides, it suits you better than Noble. It always seemed a bit of a sissy name to me. I was man enough to capture your heart, Jaina. His eyes gleam with wicked delight. Let's not forget that little detail. Heart of the demon child? Is he finally sleeping? Larin sleeps, though it took some doing to get him to bed. Are you sure I can't just knock him on the back of the head with an old mace? He's got his father's stubborn streak. Are you sure the tune you sang to him is an appropriate choice? The Ballad of the Saucy Wench? What's wrong with it? I only got to the parts where she removes her blouse when he fell straight to sleep. Well then, perhaps I can walk through the rest with you, now that... Wait, did you hear that? You awake, memories jumbled. A sense of urgency washes over your being, yet you cannot recall why. There is only a deep unease and the feeling that you must act at once. Slowly, your senses return. Hard metal restrains your wrists and you feel cold stone against your feet. A musky animal smell seems all around you, along with the sound of a large beast breathing. Your body feels strange, muscles complaining with every motion as if unused by long immobility. Gradually, your eyelids open and the blurry scene around you resolving to crisp horror.
Where am I? Why does my skin feel so strange?
The beast's jaw moves almost imperceptibly, a hint of a smile. Ah, awake I see. The fresh-born always seem to have a little problem with memory. Don't worry, it will return with a little practice. Let's start with something simple. What is your name? It looks at you expectantly.
Name? I can't remember.
Relax. Do not try to force it. Think instead of a familiar face calling out your name. Picture it in your mind and listen carefully to what they say. The world dims around you and an image forms in your consciousness. You see an uncommonly handsome man before you. Remembrances of lips and strong hands set your blood afire. Gazing into his eyes, you see raw urgency. His lips move and you draw closer. Jaina, protect the child. With a shock, memories begin to slip in place. You turn to your fellow captive, dark red scales glinting in the dim light. Its eyes watch you with sullen patience.
Jaina. My name is Jaina.
Well, Jaina, my name is Tresk. I would shake your hand, but as you can see... The beast grins again.
I have so many questions. What happened to my body?
Patience, patience. Time is something we have plenty of. I'm surprised though. Typically newcomers at least remember their bloodline. Did your parents tell you nothing?
I had normal human parents. There was no demon blood in my family tree.
Perhaps your soul was placed in a human child's body. I have heard of such things. Or perhaps they were your true parents, but did not tell you out of fear or ignorance.
What is all this talk of demons and souls? You have done something to my body. Undo it at once.
I'm sorry, Jaina. This must be distressing. Though it is difficult, you must accept that your life until now is only half the story. You have died, and you now wear your true form.
Died? True form? You spew madness.
No, Jaina. Look into your heart. Trek's voice is full of pity. There you shall know the truth. Your knees buckle from an unbearable weight of Tresk's words. As Tresk's words burn into your brain. You are no demon. You are Jaina, beloved of Talon. Protect the child. Darkness overtakes you. The door. Alright, I don't think we're gonna have much of a choice here. Deal with them first, then get the child. Alright. As your memories return, you'll rage against the manacles, shattering them. I'm a human chaotic evil bard, level 1. With 6 hit points. Wonderful. Fucking great. No gear. Right. Natural tunic. Monstrous body. Heavy iron shackles restrain this prisoner, who looks at you with a glint in his eyes. You are free, Jaina. A condition I greatly envy.
Who are you?
Tresk sighs. Mine is a sad tale, and long. Are you sure you wish to hear it?
Yes.
I am of the tainted blood, just as you are, born in the great city of Omelas.
Tainted? What do you mean by tainted?
He looks a bit impatient. It is as I explained before. The blood of angels and demons flow within our bodies. Neither breed accepts us for one of their own, and we are cast out from both societies.
What of Omelas?
When our people were cast out of Sigil by the Lady of Pain, we were given Omelas as our home. What began as barren rock in the outlands was transformed into a proud city.
Okay, back to the story.
His eyes look far as if across the years. I was a restless youth, trying my hand at all lines of work. For a time I was a gate diver, risking pain and misery in hopes of striking it rich. Later I sailed the great rivers across the plains, trading in such places as Celestia and the Abyss itself.
What's a gate diver?
Gate diving is an occupation unique to our people. A planar portal is opened up at random and the diver goes through. If you're lucky, you'll find something of use to someone. If you're not lucky, you'll find yourself on the plane of fire or in the middle of the blood war. I was in Amalas between trips when I made the mistake of rolling bones with this one cutter I'd never met.
What's a cutter?
He raises a scaly brow. It's a person, Burke. Someone with a bit more of a clue than you seem to have.
Oh, go on.
I was in Amalas between trips.
Okay. Luck wasn't with you?
He rolled the dice like something out of Gehenna. With every 6 or 11, my money poured away. His face grimaces. I was the Burke that kept playing. This fellow next to me offered up some jink on one condition. He'd hold my soul gem to make sure I'd pay up. Well, I wouldn't normally even consider such an offer. There was something about that night. They might have spiked the bob or used an enchantment. I sometimes think it might have been my own damn fault.
A soul gem?
Every tainted comes into being with a soul gem. It contains their spiritual essence and allows them to be reborn if they should die. Jink is money.
Okay, please continue with your tale.
Like a clueless, I took the money and handed over my gem. The jinkster took it, rolled the dice, and won again. I went all bally then, tearing up the place and getting myself kicked out the back door.
Bally?
I was crazy, mad with myself and the cutter who bobbed me.
Bobbed you?
The cutter I was rolling the dice with was cheating, bobbing me good.
Okay, keep going with your story then.
They bashed me in the brain box and I woke up here. The sodding bashers have been treating me plenty good. Don't want me in the dead book. I've heard about their kind, you see. Gem thieves, they call them. Soul stealers.
Brain box is your skull. Dead book. Well, Book of the Dead. Keep going.
A tainted soul gem is a valuable thing. Dazzlers want it for spells and such. It only works if the tainted it belongs to is still alive. If they die, their spirit goes back into the gem.
I'm guessing Dazzlers is basically spellcasters in general. Hold on. You're saying that if I die, I'll just be reborn again?
That's right, Berg. As one of the people, death is something you'll fear less than most.
But where's my spirit gem?
Those cross-trading scum have it, odds are.
He scowls.
If they haven't sold it yet, that is.
And they sold yours to some wizard so that they can cast spells or something.
Dead on, Cutter.
I don't understand. You were already attainted. I was mortal before this. I've never even seen a spirit gem.
Aye, that's the mystery.
He pauses a moment.
The dark of it is that the gem thieves may have ways to snatch a mortal soul on its way to the birthing pit.
He pauses again.
I thought I thought it tales of the barmy, but now I'm not so sure.
Birthing pits?
When a mortal with the touch of the tainted dies their last death, their spirit travels to their birthing pits. They emerge as one of the people, scales and all.
Is that the end of your tale?
The ending hasn't been written yet, though I'd like your help in doing so.
I have to get out of here.
I'd like it to as well, though I'm afraid my choices are somewhat limited.
His eyes seem to pierce your own.
Care to do me a favor, friend?
I bet you want to get out of those chains, don't you?
In a sense, though maybe not the way you have in mind.
Oh really? And what do you have in mind?
Take hold of my head and twist really hard. With these chains, I can't manage to leverage myself. Every time I try, I just manage to knock myself silly and wake up with a headache.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
I have waited long for this. When I die, my spirit will be reborn with my spirit gem. Then it's time to hunt down the sudden dazzler who holds it and teach them a thing or two.
His sharp teeth snarl in anger. Okay. You asked for it. With a powerful blow, his neck whips about with a loud crack. Slumping forward, he grins briefly, then his face grows slack. Right. Bigger problem is, do I have anything special? No, I'm just a level 1 bard with my 6 hit points, so fighting is not exactly going to be plan A. Let's see if we can be stealthy. Hmm. We need... Well, I don't actually know what we need. I don't have too much skill in this particular area either. Door appears magically sealed, for now at least. Yeah, they're all sealed. Other cells. Containment cells. Looks like barracks maybe, or testing area. Every door is locked. This heavy portcullis blocks your way. You manage to lift it briefly, then it slams again behind you. Ah, Helen is here. Talon stands before you, a cold fury echoing in his words.
I've dealt with the likes of you before, demon. You shall feel paid unimaginable unless you tell me what you have done with my wife and son.
It's me, Talon, Jaina.
Sweet lies from the mouth of a demon. He shakes his head. I think you could make up a better one than that.
Snap out of it, Noble.
I hate it when you call me... Jaina? Is that really you? But what happened?
Run your claws down his chest.
This could have some interesting possibilities.
He flinches, then begins to chuckle.
You always did have a thing for snakes, Jaina. Though your new body seems more demonic or draconic. Hard to say without hogging about a bit.
All in good time, my husband. How did you find yourself here?
His eyes darken.
I died. The darkness calling for my soul. Debts to be repaid, you know. When I thought all was lost, I felt something pulling me back. It seems as if you were calling, your voice echoing across the depths.
And you awakened to find me a monster, no longer the human woman you once knew.
You always were a bit of a monster, Jaina.
He asks quickly before you can respond.
Do not worry about your new body. The bond we share is one of blood. The changing flesh is just added spice to the dish.
You always were a charming boy. Now, what of you? I see you gave the guard what he deserved.
I first awoke in the tanks, floating in silence as my bones knitted together before my eyes. Darkness followed, and I found myself on this cot, listening to men speak of another prisoner and a spirit gem.
This gem, do you have it?
He smiles and raises an eyebrow.
Let me finish my tale, my lady. You never did like it when I rushed.
Sometimes a girl likes it quick. Now get on with it.
I lay in wait until there was only one of them, snagging a scalpel off a nearby table. My new body wasn't working right. It seemed weak and powerless. I managed to kill the guard, though it was closer than I would have liked. When I heard you approach, I lay down again and prepared myself.
Devious as always. What else?
With a dramatic glare, he pulls out a pulsing gem.
Perhaps this is the spirit gem you were looking for? The guard didn't seem to want it much after I cut out his heart.
A nice prize you found. Let me take a closer look.
Demon spit!
Talon makes a rude gesture to the jail entrance.
Looks like our captors are back.
Lyra, this can't be good.
Talon snarls.
By the Black Pit, we're in no condition to fight. I can barely stand, and yet I managed to knock you over with a single blow. There's that other exit, but...
There's another way out? Where?
That grate nearby leads to the sewers by the smell of it. I was about to try it when you came in.
He looks up at you for a moment.
Unfortunately, I don't think you fit down the narrow chute. Your girth appears to have grown a bit.
He shrugs.
Well, I always wanted to die in a smelly jail next to my demon lover.
Step out of it, Talon. You are going on alone.
My heart may be black as night, but I understand the power of an oath. I swore I would never leave your side, and I meant it. We die together.
Larin needs a father, you fool. Besides, there may be a way out of this.
You may think that new demon body gives you unholy strength, but I was able to fell you with a single blow. There's no way you can survive.
Death is my salvation. Well, that and the spirit gem.
He holds up the spirit gem, a warm glow diffusing the room.
This little thing?
There was another prisoner with me, another tainted. He told me that if I would die, I would be born within the gem.
Well, I'll be damned.
He catches himself and smiles.
I suppose I already am. Very well, but this bloody black magic of yours better work, or I swear I'll track you down in your afterlife and throttle you good.
No worries, dear boy. I'll give them a fight they won't soon forget.
Hell hath no fury.
He smiles wickedly again.
Get out of here, Talon. I'll see you soon enough.
He forcefully presses his lips against yours, warm flesh against serpentine scales. With a wink he dashes off, disappearing into the open grave.
Fare thee well, my wicked boy.
So this is basically a hopeless fight then. I have no abilities. Can I even cast magic? I can cast cantrips. Ah, candlelight and shitty heals. Yeah. Impossible demon. They're the same demons that killed me the first time.
There's more where that came from.
Where'd him? Okay, a new thing. Why are there so many portals? No, shrines. 8 shrines. Garden. Laboratory. Bedroom. Shrine. Library. Workshop. Practice hall. Gem exit. Before you is a swirling mist, the heart of the spirit gem. Change the appearance of the gem. You may select the appearance of the gem's central area, suiting it to your demeanor. Crypt, forest, caves, wealthy home, evil, empty void. Wealthy home. Draw energy from the gem's heart. Game options. Build a room. Here you can change some of the available game options for this module. Flavor text options. By default, descriptive text on an area will show up above your player's head. While this is most visible, it can cause problems for players who rely on stealth. If you'd like, you can switch to quiet flavor text, which displays at the bottom of the screen in yellow text. I'll take the quiet flavor text. Build a room. You do not have enough spirit energy to add a new room. In order to get more spirit energy, you will need to find items of great beauty and harmony and add them to your spirit gem. Draw energy from the gem's heart. Your spirit gem has exhausted its power. You shall have to return later. You have 0 rooms activated with a total upkeep of 0 spirit coin. The objects in your keep are able to produce 0 spirit coin, leaving you with 0 spirit coin. Right. So a new mechanic again. Not exactly unexpected, but the actual implementation is certainly unique. Suppose the only thing I can do is exit. Talon saunters to your appearing form, slapping your scaly haunch with his hand.
Well, you seem solid enough. I imagine being torn to shreds was a bit of on the painful side.
Yes, deliciously so.
Perhaps you can show me later. For now, I have to recover something that was stolen from me. He snarls cruelly. You know how much I hate it when someone steals something that I treasure.
Larin,
I shall take great joy in slowly killing whoever took him from me. He pauses, looking about. Can you sense it? A stillness in the air, as if a shroud has been pulled over my eyes.
what are you talking about?
I have told you something of my dark dealings. At times I have traveled to the dwellings of evil beings, moving far beyond the mortal world.
What of it?
It is a similar sensation, a shifting of vision. I think we have left familiar lands behind and we now tread in the realms of immortals. His voice lowers. We should tread carefully, Jaina.
I am very wary, Talon. Let us turn our attention to getting out of these damp sewers. They play hell on with my hair. Not that I have much of it at the moment.
Talon begins to move, then stumbles.
Such weakness! Whatever they did to me feels as if my flesh is like that of a child's. My skills with a blade seem blotted from my memories.
Okay, we have a chance to basically choose here. It seems like have Talon develop the same way he did before, or try to make him a barbarian. I think I'd rather prefer a fighter.
Useless wretch that you may be, I'll whip you back into fighting shape. Develop your fighter's skills as best as you can.
With a flourish, he waves his tiny scalpel.
Right-ho, Jaina. One more thing. Another little pretty that I stole off the dead guard.
What is it?
Take a gander at this.
He hands to you a bloody coin.
I thought of keeping it for myself, but I figured it wasn't worth much. It's not even gold, but some other strange alloy. Besides, it may be a clue to whoever took Larin.
Bloody coin.
I'll consider it. Oh, and if you withhold from me again, I'll test out these new teeth on your skull.
He smiles and bows his head demurely.
Yes, mistress.
Follow me.
So, certainly a change of pace. Suddenly, everything you're sort of been moving toward is for nothing. All your character progression is for nothing. Positive side, we have direct access to our henchman inventory. Also, I'm not sure how things are gonna develop, but it can't be quite like we started nothing, although we clearly started nothing. The reason is that our opponents are actually very dangerous. They were dangerous when we weren't at level 1. So there's no way in hell we can even try anything against them the way we are. So there has to be a way to restore most of our power at the very least, if not all. But so I'm viewing this more in the sense like we had in the what the fuck was it? Dreamcatcher? Dreamfall? I don't. For the life of me, I don't recall the name of the module I played previously. But we had the situation where suddenly we were injured, had no spells, had no life really, and couldn't rest, and we just had to make do for a while. I think this is a sort of a similar situation. We might be able to recover, which would basically be we are able to level up to the point we were, probably at a fairly rapid rate. However, for now, we are in a totally hopeless situation. We are weak as shit. Basically, a group of rats could probably kill both of us. So I feel we have to rely more on our wits and other things, not our fighting prowess. I'm also I'm not sure if I want to make the same character again. It's a different matter if we get the power quickly restored. But if we have to basically start adventuring at zero again, I don't know if I want to use the slow progression of a bard when clearly I need to be able to do something faster. At the same time, I already have that one level bard, so maybe it would be bard red dragon disciple route this time instead of a pure bard. It really gave us not that much. Magic weapon and greater magic weapon was the most used abilities. I did rely on summons too for a while, but later on, once I had some money and could afford to buy summoned creature scrolls, I sort of stopped using that too. So, in a sense, I would have gained much more benefit from the Red Dragon Disciple too. I think we have a very strong role-playing reason to now justify taking the Red Dragon Disciple too. I mean, for the fuck, we look like a red goddamn dragon. Might be technically demon, but it's a red scaly thing that looks like a dragon. It's good enough.